Hello, Rob.
Behmor.
Behmor. Roaster number 3.
Roaster number 3.
All right. Why don't you tell me about this guy? It looks a little different than the other ones.
So rather than being kind of that air circulation heating that the other two that we've previously done, this guy is more of a toaster oven style. It's got a heating element in the back here, which we'll get into and show you here in a minute.
Okay.
Kind of more functionality into it. A lot of programmed options, different profiles, times you can set. A real friendly interface, which I like a lot.
Okay.
We just did a test run on it, and I like it quite a bit. So
can you explain what these buttons are and why I would use one over the other?
Yeah. So to start it, you're just going to select a weight: quarter pound, half pound, pound.
Okay.
Then you're going to select your program down here, which we've got a nice little graph over here based off the profiles you can set.
Okay.
The one we're going to use is profile number 1, which is just a quick rise to max temp, and then it stays there through the duration, which gives you different profiles depending on temperatures and times and all that stuff, which you can all play around with, which is pretty cool. You can do ones that rise a little bit slower and then end up kind of plateauing for a little bit, then going up again, and all that's just giving you even more kind of fun variables you can play around with to get coffee that you like. And
their recommendations were kind of based, like why you would choose P1 versus P5 would be like the bean type or where it was grown.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Everything, as with everything in coffee, every single little variable changes how it tastes so much. So
exactly.
Nothing different here with that in mind. So,
All right. So why don't you pop the baby open?
All right. We've got the chaff dustpan here, which in our test run we forgot to put back into the thing. So I then opened up the door here as it was going, and I got sprayed in the face with chaff.
That was actually awesome. I wish I would have caught that on tape.
We've got our bingo ball container here.
I think it's a shark cage.
Remember last time when I didn't laugh at that joke?
No, you did laugh at it.
Oh, that's right. Cat, it was a pity laugh. No, put all your beans in here. It's got nice little dividers in it that, as it's rotating, will kind of keep the beans moving, so you're not looking at uneven roasts or anything like that.
Okay.
And then in the back, you've got your main heater, which is going to be kind of where all this the actual heat source is coming from. So
cool. All right.
So we're going to load this guy up kind of with the default half pound, which we've weighed and whatnot here.
Of your bonsai.
Velton's Bonsai Green Bean.
I gotta say, you're 0 for 2. I'm really rooting for you this time, Rob.
The Behmor is going to be our winner here. So, okay.
I was just gonna say a really horrible pun, but I won't.
No holding back.
No, I don't want any more of your pity laughs, Rob. Now that I know that's where it all comes from.
Lesson learned. We're gonna actually put this into the machine this time.
And it does actually come with that awesome little cleaning brush, that you
makes it a little bit easier to clean out, I'm sure.
At the end of the day. Okay.
Oh, this comes in the thing, so make sure the first time you fire it up, you don't burn this thing. Closing the door. We're going to select half pound here.
Okay.
We're going to select profile 1. Then we're going to hit start. And we're going to turn on the light so you can see what's going on in there.
So that started at 12 minutes
12 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
And like I was saying earlier, with profile 1 on this, it's going to be a quick shoot right to the max temp that this thing's capable of roasting at, and it's just going to stay plateaued there for the whole duration of that 12 minutes.
Okay, cool.
And then, if kind of when you're eyeballing it, and this is something that, as you kind of learn how to use the roaster yourself, you can determine whether or not you want to add or subtract time, kind of depending on, your own, opinion on what it looks like when you're looking in there. So.
Or the sound, which is the whole thing, right?
Sound is also very important. We've been recommended to listen for that first crack very carefully, and then the second crack should be very audible. So.
And then shortly thereafter, do you bring it down to cool at that point?
I think kind of during the second crack is about the time you're going to be kind of getting ready to put it into its cool cycle.
Okay.
It'll automatically go there, jump into the cool cycle after the time that's been set. But if you feel like it needs to be a little bit earlier, you can just slap that button right there and you're good to go.
Awesome. Okay. So, obviously, this is a lot more quiet
Yeah.
than our air popper
You can
version.
actually hear us on the video.
Yeah, we don't have to yell. And so I am very excited. I think we're going to hear the crack this
I
time.
think so.
And not as stinky.
Yep, not as stinky. I remember during our test run, it was towards the end as the temperature was kind of, or as the beans were kind of coming to full roast, it was a little on the stinkier side. But
Yeah.
compared to the other two, a lot better.
Yeah, so this also has a catalytic converter.
converter on the
Okay,
back, yeah.
cool.
Yep.
All right. So we're about 4 minutes in and we've got a little tan going on.
Not what's the color you always use?
Tawny!
Tawny. Not quite.
Not quite tawny. All right, so we're definitely getting a little closer to tawny.
To your tawny.
Um,
You can smell it a little bit more now.
Yeah, so we have about 7 and some change minutes have passed. No crack yet.
Yeah, the expected time on the crack is probably around 2 minutes, so a little bit less maybe.
Okay. The crack provided you with an ETA.
Yeah.
It sent you a letter. This is when I plan to arrive.
Telegraph, yeah.
Get ready for me.
It was in Morse code, actually.
Beep, 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 beep. Or crack, 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 crack.
Yes, the bean. I'm a bean whisperer. I can hear them. They speak to me.
You know, I did think this was going to be a journey of self-improvement for you, Rob, but I wasn't sure that it was going to be to that level. I'm impressed.
Yeah, round 3 and we're already there.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking, Kat?
I'm listening for that crack. Still a little too light. We're at 10 minutes past on a roast. What do you think?
I think we might add a little bit more time here in a minute.
Yeah. Maybe another minute?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Okay. Or maybe 2 more minutes? Or maybe do you want just a minute at a time?
Maybe 5 more minutes. And then 15 more minutes. Yeah, let's go a minute. Should we go another 30? Bring it up to a minute 30?
Yeah. Oh, I think I heard.
Yeah. Oh,
There we
it
go.
is. Yeah, perfect. All right, so 12 minutes. We're getting there. Sounds like it's our second crack.
You think that's the second one?
Yeah,
It still
'cause-
kind of looks a little on the light
A little
side.
light too, huh?
Did you hear?
I'm hearing them, yeah.
No, but did you
Oh.
hear like the first one? Did you hear something that was more subtle before? Or
Yeah,
was
I mean,
that
well,
it?
hard to say. I thought I did.
Oh, see, now it's like crazy.
Now we're going full blown. Got 20 seconds left till cool. I think that's probably about right.
You think?
Wanna go a little longer?
I don't. I'm relying
let's
on
go-
you
let's
and your
go.
expertise, Rob.
Let's go. There we go. All right. 13:30 is the max time we can do on this one, so I think we're good.
Okay.
Cool begins now.
All right. So we're all
We're
cooled
done.
down.
We're at 0, and the world didn't end. So let's see. All right, nice and cool.
Remove your chaff.
Yeah.
But you did notice that the little shark cage laugh.
No, the bingo ball cage.
That there was some chaff being collected in there.
Yeah,
still.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you can see it's kind of all over the place here, which I mean, probably why they included.
The brush. High-tech brush. Okay. So let's pull her out. Is it super toasty still, or
No, I think we're good.
don't injure yourself?
Right. No, yeah, it's definitely nice and cool.
Okay.
All right, so.
So we've got our Beltons on the left here, our comparison.
And our Robs on the right.
Our Rob's bonsai blend.
Pretty darn light.
You still think too
Yeah.
light?
Way too light, I think.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do we want to even taste this, or do you want to take another stab and roast another batch, and then we can taste that later? Do you want to do that?
I'm gonna get crazy here. I say we do another batch, but we also taste this.
All right.
We'll live La Vida Loca.
And if by we you mean you, I'm into that. I don't know if I'm going to sign up to taste this, but okay, we'll be.
We'll
all
see
right.
what happens.
So maybe I thought didn't you say like that P1 wouldn't let you go more than 13?
Yeah, I think we
minutes
need to,
and 30
we need
seconds.
To fiddle around with
So
those a little bit more and see
okay.
what we can get. But that's the fun of this whole thing. So
Exactly.
We'll see
Okay.
what happens.
all right. So you're going to mess around, create another batch off camera, and
Yep.
then we'll come back and
We'll
kind of do some
compare 'em all.
tasting.
You
All
got it.
right. It's the Behmor.
The Behmor.
Moment of
Behmor,
truth.
Behmor.
Behmor, Behmor. Okay, so we've got 3 pouches of beans here. What's going on, Rob?
So this was the one that you guys probably just watched. The first roast we tried on the Behmor. We went at kind of the full volume they recommended at the kind of the standard setting. And it ended up a little bit light. So I kind of poked around a little bit and read that if you lower the quantity by just a little bit, I mean, I think we went from maybe 8 ounces to maybe like 6 3/4 ounces or so.
Okay.
You would get, a little bit darker of a roast. And so what we ended up doing then was just kind of retrying, same process, same system, and we actually got a really nice medium roast here.
And you did, before you tried reducing, you tried same beans, same volume, but different profiles, right?
profile,
But you
yeah.
got sort of the same result?
Yeah, same result. So
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe just if you go a little bit below the recommended quantity, you can kind of reach that medium to maybe slightly darker roast you're looking for.
Got it. Okay.
And I don't know if that's true across the board, but that's what we've kind of found here.
So here's our Velton's Bonsai roasted by the man himself.
Yep.
The ground version. Here's your version.
Here's my second attempt.
Okay.
First attempt.
So we'll pause, we'll make some press pots and do a taste.
Oh yeah. We're pressed.
Yeah, so visually the cups look, they've got a similar sort of
Yeah.
kind of consistency to them. All
Yep.
right. Give her a taste.
Give Velton the first go here. Velton's again. I guess that probably doesn't come as a surprise anymore. I'm like waiting like something different's going to happen this time,
Exactly.
Now the Rob mix. Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think of the 3, I'm almost immediately more appealed to this one.
Do you think is it the most similar to the bar with the standard
Yeah,
Pro?
I think so. I mean, I obviously it's not quite there, but it's definitely of the 3. It kind of keeps them like I remember on the eye roast. I felt that the flavor kind of was burnt out of it, and then the last one was just nothing. This one kind of tastes pretty good.
It's kind of sort of has, you'll hate me for saying this, sort of like a winey undertone.
Ooh, I'm more of a beer guy, but
Yeah, they are pretty darn close.
Yeah, I'm happy with the Behmor.
I would be hard pressed to be able to say, oh, this is one or the other. They're really close.
Yeah, it kept a lot of Velton's the bonsai. I feel like is it's got kind of a lot of different nuances and whatnot. And,
Yeah.
With the eye roast, I felt like we kind of burnt it out of it, and then with the Nesco, I felt like it just kind of wasn't really there at all. And then with this one,
It's pretty close.
good. It keeps most of the flavor intact that you'd expect. So.
Cool. So we're just doing a little bit smaller batch on
Yep.
here, and then we can get pretty close to a
Yeah.
pro roast. Cool.
Not bad.
All right. Well, so 1 for 3.
1 for 3. We're gonna make it 2 for 4 with the next one.
Got
Shooting
it. A 50%. All right. Thank you so much, Rob.
Thank you.